Hello students, today we are going to be solving a system of equations by elimination. Don't forget to take notes and complete the survey at the end. Solving a system of equations. So far we have solved this system by graphing, where we graphed two lines on a graph and found where the two crossed. Now we're going to solve by another way, and it's called elimination. We use this method when both of the equations are written in standard form. Standard form means that y is not by itself. So you're going to see something like this where we have ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are all going to be numbers. X and y will stay x and y. So we have a couple different steps we're going to follow when we solve by elimination. Our first step is to line up the equations. We want to put all the x's together, all the y's together, and then all the numbers together. Second step is determine which variable to eliminate. You want to look for the variables that have similar coefficients. That means the number in front of the same variable needs to be similar. We're not so much looking at positive and negative, but just that it has the same number in front. Step 3 is to solve. We're just going to solve it for the variable that we choose. And then step 4 is to plug it back in to find the other variable. We're going to substitute that value into one of the equations, because remember, when we're solving a system of equation, the solution is always written as an ordered pair x comma y. So let's look at an example. We have 5x plus 5y equals 20 and negative 8x minus 5y equals negative 29. So step number 1 is to line up the equation, which is already done for us. Our x's are together, our y's are together, and our numbers are together. Step number 2 is to determine which variable to eliminate. We want to figure out which variable has the same coefficient. In this case, it's going to be our y's. Our y's both have a 5 in front, so we're going to eliminate those y's. In order to eliminate, we either need to add or subtract these numbers together in order to make it be 0. So we have a positive 5 and we have a negative 5. In order for this positive 5 and negative 5 to equal 0, we're going to have to add the two together. So we're just going to make this a big addition problem. We're going to do 5x plus negative 8x to get negative 3x. Our 5y's canceled. 20 plus negative 29 is negative 9. And then we're just going to get x by itself. To get x by itself, we divide by negative 3 on both sides, so we have a total of x equals 3. That's our x value. Remember, our solution is always written as an ordered pair, so now we need to find our y value. You can pick either equation from the beginning to plug it in to find the y value. I'm going to pick the first equation because it has less negatives in it. So if I have 5x plus 5y equals 20, I know that my x value is 3, so I'm going to put 3 in for x and just solve. 5 times 3 is 15, and then I want to get y by itself, so I subtract 15 from both sides, so I have 5y equals 5, and then divide by 5 on both sides, so I have y equals 1. Now that I have an x and a y value, I know that my solution, x comes first, so it's 3 comma 1. Example number 2, negative x minus 5y equals 2, and negative x plus 9y equals 2. First thing I want to do is line up my equation, which is already done for me. My x's are together, my y's are together, and the numbers are together. Determine the variable to eliminate. Which variable has the same coefficient? Well, as you can see here, both of the x's just have a negative 1 in front of them, so I'm going to eliminate the x's. In order to eliminate the x's, they're both negatives, so in order to cause it to be 0, we are going to subtract the two, because negative 1 minus negative 1 does give me 0. So if I subtract the rest of the problem, negative 5 plus minus a positive 9 is going to give us negative 14, and then 2 minus 2 is 0. Then I want to get y by itself, so I divide by negative 14 on both sides, and I get y equals 0. Last step is I'm going to substitute it back in to get my other variable. So again, you can pick either equation that you want to pick. Substitute 0 in for y. Negative 5 times 0 is 0. Now to get x by itself, I have negative x equals 2. Divide by negative 1 on both sides, so I have x equals negative 2. So my solution, again, x comes first, negative 2 comma 0. You can also do these as a word problem. The senior classes at High School A and High School B planned separate trips to Yellowstone National Park. The senior class at High School A rented and filled 13 vans and 6 buses with 402 students. High School B rented and filled 13 vans and 14 buses with 626 students. Each van and each bus carried the same number of students. How many students can a van carry? How many students can a bus carry? As you can see, the equations are written. You will have to be writing these equations, so please pay attention as how we got these equations. The first equation comes from, we have 13 vans, so that's where the 13b comes from. Then we have 6 buses plus the 6b, and we have a total of 402 students. High School B, again, has 13 vans, so 13v, plus 14 buses, so 14b, equals a total of 626 students. We need to figure out how many students are in each van and how many students are in each bus. So in order to do this, we're going to use the same steps we used before. Line up the equations, which is already done for us. Determine the variable to eliminate. Both of the v's have a 13 in front of them, so we're going to subtract these two because 13 minus 13 is 0. Again, we're going to subtract the rest of it as well, so 6 minus 14 is negative 8, and 402 minus 626 is negative 224. To get b by itself, we're going to divide by negative b on both sides. Negative 8 on both sides, so we have a grand total of b equals 28. Now it not only asks for how many were in each bus, but it asks for how many were in each van as well. So we're going to take the b and plug it into one of the equations. Again, it doesn't matter which one. I'm going to pick the first equation. So if I put 28 in for b, 6 times 28 gives us 168. Subtract 168 from both sides, and we get 13v equals 234. And then divide by 13 on both sides to get v equals 18. So this tells us that there are 18 students in a van and 28 students on a bus. In conclusion, a couple of things. Eliminate the variable that has similar coefficients. Make sure you add or subtract to eliminate. Eliminate means to get rid of, so make sure when you add or subtract you're getting 0 for that variable. Last thing, when writing the equations from a word problem, keep the right information together and write them in standard form. Please make sure you took notes as you went. Go take the survey right now so you don't forget. Bring your questions to class tomorrow and know how to write the equation and solve tomorrow. Those are the two big things you need to know how to do tomorrow. We will do more practice tomorrow. See ya!